Christmas mug a go-go. Hello all, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. Welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a while since I spoke to you guys. So I'm really sorry for neglecting. Yeah, I thought, do you know what, now's a good time to come on and give you a little bit of a life update, a bit of a life update and pregnancy update, because quite a lot has gone on since I spoke to you last. So grab your cuppa. These mugs, by the way, amazing hot chocolate size mugs, are from Sainsbury's. I bought 2 of them, all new Christmas mugs. Oh my gosh, they're huge. I feel like I'm in Friends. I feel like I'm drinking from a Friends cup. You know, he says, your cups are so big they may as well have nipples on them. That's what this feels like. Grab a cuppa, settle down, and I'm going to fill you in on what's been happening in our world with baby. Excuse the mess. Is there a mess behind? There's a kitchen behind. There's a little girl's cardigan behind. Don't look at all that. Okay, so I am today, as of exactly today, I'm 37 weeks pregnant. So I'm officially 1 day pregnant more than I was with Holly. Does that make sense? 1 more day pregnant than I was with Holly. So Holly decided to come at 36 plus 6. So officially this baby has been in longer than Holly was in. We went for a growth scan last Thursday. Which we just thought was just going to be a normal growth scan, see how baby's growing. Because of my BMI, I get more scans. So if you are, if you are a lady who has higher BMI, be prepared for more scans. They just want to check the baby's growth. And I think maybe check you as well, just make sure that you're kind of okay. Oh, I don't know, but it's lovely because you get more scans, you get to see baby more. And we went for the scan, and before that I saw the midwife a couple of weeks before, the week before, and I said, you know, I have a real hard bit at the top of my bump. What is that? And she was like, oh, I don't really know. She said it could be a bum, but you'll find out at your growth scan because they'll see where baby's lying, blah, blah, blah. And got in there, and as soon as she put the, I don't know what it's called, you know, the scanning thing? I don't know what it's called. The scanner, the rod, whatever. Onto that area, she was like, oh. I was like, well, that's not a positive O. She said, that's your baby's head. So we officially have a breech baby, which came as a bit of a shock, because I think we were just oblivious. We were just a bit like, oh, well, this is going to be the same kind of birth that we had with Holly. You know, we didn't really think about what happens if baby is breech, or if it's slightly different, or maybe a bit naive, I don't know. So yeah, we had a breech baby. So at that point they said, right, we have a few options. So we kind of carted off into the consultation room. They did all the measurements. Baby is about 7 pound last week, which was the weight that Holly was when she was born, which kind of makes sense because she was born by now and she was 7 pound when she was born. So, you know, they're similar. It's been similar pregnancies and it's been similar weights, I think. This baby also apparently has quite a big tummy, and we were told that with Holly, and we were given the option to be induced with Holly, but she decided to come before any of that happened anyway. So yeah, we were carted off into the consultation room to have a chat with a student doctor who was there, and then a further chat with a consultant who gave us our options. So the first options we had were that you can vaginally birth a breech baby, but there are complications, and there are even bigger complications for me because our baby is what they call, now I think it's footling. I keep wanting to say foot long, but I think that's because it's Subway. It's a footling breech. I'm so sorry, don't at me if that's wrong, but basically what that means is usual breech babies are bum down with, so they're nicely rounded with their feet up by their ears. This baby is feet down. Oh. Post. very quiet post, Davey. Oh, bear with. Oh, it's all go. Sorry. This baby is feet down, which means that the feet are right at the bottom and it's almost extended out, which makes it really hard to birth her or him, Breech. So we kind of had the discussions, the complications around that. He did say something like, if you choose to go for a vaginal birth, there would be no interventions. And maybe I should have asked actually what he meant by that, but I'm kind of thinking he meant you wouldn't be able to do forceps, you wouldn't be able to do Von-2s, and that also worried me a little bit because Holly was born via Von-2s. I had an episiotomy. I don't know why I do that. An episiotomy. And she was born by Von-2s because I just couldn't push her out. I don't know why. I was never really told why. I was pushing for about an hour. And the midwife said, I think we need a little bit of help. But apart from that, her birth was pretty normal, textbook, really good. I think maybe because I had an epidural, I couldn't really feel the contractions and it wasn't giving me that urge to get this baby out. So maybe that's what I put it down to that, but who knows. But it also makes me think, well, if we couldn't have any of those interventions with this baby, it could be that I get so far along naturally and I have to be put in for an emergency C-section anyway. So we ruled that out. And then he spoke to us about an ECV, which I should know what that means, but I don't. I could look it up. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. External cephalic version? External cephalic version. It's basically where they externally turn your baby. But again, we were told that comes with complications. I could bleed. I could get very distressed. It could hurt. He said we've had mothers say, please stop. My BMI would make it also quite tricky because I do have a big tummy, so that would make it harder. And then there is the risk that baby's heart rate would drop, baby would get distressed, which is the bigger issue, and then we're both in emergency C-section there and then anyway. And then the third and final option was a planned C-section. So we were kind of told, he booked us in for a planned C-section then and there. He said, let's get a date in the diary, you know, because I'd rather that than send you off with no date in. But go away and have a think about it, have a chat about it, research about it. And this is a very abbreviated version, I think, of what happened, because I can't quite remember. He just gave us all the risks of planned C-section versus unplanned C-section versus emergency C-section. Planned is much calmer because everybody knows what they're doing, they know when they're coming in. There's no urgency to get the baby out because you've not hopefully gone to labour yet. I did mention to him that I actually went into labour with Holly spontaneously early. So my worry would be that I would do that with this one as well. And he basically said that that's not a problem. If you definitely wanted a C-section, then they would get me in for an emergency C-section then. But in some cases you can try to birth the Breech baby. They would probably see how far along I am. But I'm just not very keen on that. So we were sent away to think about things for a week and they were going to give us a call yesterday. I went and saw my midwife on Tuesday and had a really good chat with her and just went through every option we had really. And we decided that the planned C-section was going to be the way to go. So that's what's happening unless this baby comes early. So I spoke to the consultant yesterday who then said if baby decides to spontaneously come early, if your waters break, I want you to call 999 and be rushed in via ambulance. Not to worry me, not to panic you, but so we can get you in quick and not worry about traffic, because we would have to then prep you for C-section. And it would be an emergency C-section then. But if my waters don't break, I just start having contractions like I did with Holly, then just come in normally, be assessed, and we'll see where we go. So that's basically where we're at. This baby is a bit naughty, it's upside down, and we are looking at a totally different delivery than we had with our first, which comes with lots of unknowns, lots of scary things. Obviously my BMI is high, so major surgery is a big a risk for me. But I keep telling myself, I've done a lot of research on YouTube videos, and I'll probably put a video out myself, to be honest, once I've had the C-section, with any kind of plus size C-section tips or how it works for plus size women, because it is a little bit scarier, because there is that little bit risk. It's just that there's a few more risks that obviously you don't have if your BMI is normal or a little bit raised, and mine is very, very raised. So that's where we're at. We are booked in for a C-section on the 11th of December. If baby doesn't come before, which is, I'll be 39 weeks then, so baby was due the 18th of December, so exactly the week before it was due. And I like the fact that we can plan. That's the only thing I'm liking about this right now. I like the fact that we can plan what we're doing with Holly. We know when we're going in, touch wood, and we can plan a little bit more now, whereas before we didn't have that. It was like, when is this baby coming? We just don't know, because babies come when they're ready. I'm not looking forward to the recovery, especially with a toddler, but I've been doing a lot of research on that as well, and just making sure that I'm ready. I have a huge support network around me. I have a wonderful, wonderful husband who does loads, has been doing loads during the pregnancy anyway, bless, because I've been so shattered with this one. And my mum is in our support bubble for childcare, so she will be around helping when Chris has to go back to work, which is probably going to be week 2, because he's self-employed. He's a self-employed gardener, so he's going to be off the Christmas week anyway. So what we've discussed is he'll be off the first week, he'll go to work the second week, and my mum will come around and help me with Holly and the baby. And then the third week Chris will be off, so he'll have his 2 weeks kind of split. Otherwise it's 3 weeks of absolutely no money coming in, which we can't afford, especially at the moment. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to tell you. The reason we chose not to do the ECV, the turning of the baby, is it just looked like it would really stress the baby out. I did watch one, and it just looked a bit stressful. They literally were getting their arms right in the bump and trying to turn. I also spoke to midwife, and she said, I don't think your baby would turn anyway, because it's feet down, it's not bum down. And I just thought that there's been enough stress and uncertainty in the world and in this country at the moment. You know, we're having a baby in another lockdown pretty much. I think our lockdown's lifting next week, but we then go into tier 2. And it's been the probably the loneliest I've ever felt during this pregnancy, if I'm totally honest. And everything is uncertain and everything is unknown, and I just felt a little bit like I don't want any more added stress on me, on the baby, on our family, by trying to turn the baby. If the best thing is going to be a C-section, then that's the route we're going to go down. I just want to eliminate any kind of stress that I would have felt before. So that's why we chose not to go for the ECV, and also it could result in an emergency C-section anyway, so it's apparently, I think it's 50-50 that the baby would turn, less so for me because baby's feet down. So yeah, I guess there's not much else to tell you apart from it's not long. It's 2 weeks today, if baby decides to stay in until then. 2 weeks today that we'll be having our baby. That feels very strange to be able to say that and to know that. Quite nice, quite nice. That is the pregnancy update. So thank you for watching the video. Think of me on the 11th and after. I can't imagine I'll be doing many videos after until I'm properly healed and recovered. I might do a cheeky video where I'm able to show you baby and just talk about what we went through. But if I don't do that before the 6 weeks of recovery, I will do it after. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side. Sorry, this has been a bit of a rubbish video. Has this been a bit of a rubbish video? I feel like it has. I think probably because in all honesty, my brain is just in every other place at the moment. So apologies if this has been a bit of a rubbish video, but I just wanted to update you all before it got too late. And I've done that now. So I'll stop whittling on. See you for my next video. See you on the other side, maybe with a baby. And wish me luck. Keep everything crossed. And please pray that everything goes okay. Thank you.